Hi, Paul. Thank you. Thanks for chatting with us today.
Yeah.
I have a couple of questions for you that we'll run through quickly. And let's just jump straight in. So first of all, tell us what your life and career was like before remodeling your habits and thinking into results.
I guess it's this like 8 months ago now, isn't it? So I don't think about it as much now as I was then. I guess at that point, I'd slowly, my business was slowly dying. That's all I can say. I've worked for myself for about 8.5 years, and the revenue and the excitement about it all was slowly. There's nothing worse than a slow dying business, is there? So everything wasn't quite working. I wasn't quite going in the direction I wanted to. I was trying lots of different things. Some of them were probably doing all right, but I had no patience for waiting. I had no like long-term plan for anything, so I was so impatient that I thought if I did something, it had to work within a month. And I got into a place where I was pretty much stuck. I think I was literally coming to a point where I had to make a decision to go back. I worked for myself for 9 years. And I was at the point where I'd not made any money for 18 months. And I was looking at I'd have to go and get a job. So I was sort of, I guess, I don't know, I was definitely stuck and in a place where I didn't know what to do next. I didn't know where I had options, but I didn't know which one to take. So I guess it just stuck is the answer to the question. I'd just come 40 as well, so I was about 41. I was 41, and it was that point where you never know what to do. You don't know what to do going forward, do you? So I don't even think about it now, because I think about it now. It's like
Yeah, going back looking, it's like like Bob says.
To be so stressed out. I think stressed out is a good thing as well. That's just not a good thing. Is to say that everything I thought I could do that, but I had no real belief that I could follow through on it, or I'd have the patience for it, or I didn't want to do something that would waste my time. You know, because as you get older, you kind of. I know we've talked about this before, but you get to a point at 40. I think at 20, you're at your young age and you think everything's in front of you, and then at 40, this midlife thing happens where you go, oh well, how did I get here so fast? And then you realise I'm going to be 60 pretty quick soon as well if I got to 40 so quick. And then I started thinking, well, where do I really want to be? And if I go into something I don't want to go into, I'm going to be so pissed. So yeah, I think that was where it got stuck. I was like, well, I know it's going to happen fast the next 10 years because the last 10 went so fast. So I was just completely stuck. I just didn't know. I think I probably did know, but...
So you were dissatisfied and stuck.
Yeah, and stressed with being like that, because you know the uncertainty of that comes with dissatisfied and stuck is disease of not knowing what to do. So and when you get to the point, you have to know that.
Yeah. There's something that happens there, 40, 60, there's something that happens. So what transformations have you had in your life and business since Remodel Your Habits and thinking into results? Thinking of it in transformation.
Well, I guess now I'm just a lot more relaxed with everything. I sort of know I've got a new belief that anything I go into, I'm going to work out how to do it. I'm gonna no matter how stressful, how big it is, I'll have the tools to get me through. So I can set a goal that's insane, knowing I'll work it out. I'll get through it, and transformations. Yeah.
Have you had to know how to do everything in the beginning?
Not anymore. I probably thought before I have to know all the answers before I start, and that was a big transformation to go. let's go do this. So I'll work it out as I go. So yeah,
So
I guess my personal training package is about to arrive. Actually, I got a text off them saying it's going to be here at 12:15. So there was a big part of this. I understand now that knowledge. I always understood that knowledge was sort of power. That ignorance is not bliss, and you know, I wanted to start going to the gym. There's obviously business-wise, it's great, but I always knew I needed to go to the gym, and all the way through it, I haven't been able to get myself to the gym. I haven't worked it out. So I kind of thought, well, let me think about it. What's really happening? And I know I don't have the knowledge of the gym, even after all this time. I go in and I don't know how to use the weights. I don't know what the step machine thing does for me. I don't know what. So the transformation now is, well, I either get a personal trainer or I'll just sign up to be one. So I just signed up on a course to become a personal trainer just because, for my own benefit, that I'll have the knowledge.
I love it.
I'm lacking, because I know that's if I knew I was walking into a gym as a personal trainer, I'd go to a gym, I think. So
Yeah,
I think
exactly.
the transformation, now I just think, well, that's all right, I'll just learn it. So Spanish is my next one after that. But
Awesome.
yeah, but I think there's a patience thing that comes with that I wouldn't, before I'd be like, well, how long is it going to take? It's going to take me 18 months to learn all that, or it's going to take, but to have the patience to say, you know, this is changing, this is going to change your life in 6 months, then it's worth spending the time, and it's worth getting out of bed an hour early. That's actually a big transformation. But getting out of bed, I get out of bed a lot earlier now. That's one of the first things that I think with the paradigm mindset was, I watched Tim Ferriss, Chase Jarvis video, and he was just saying, win the morning, win the day. And I was like, that's that. So I started getting out of bed. I used to get out of bed, I work for myself, I'm home, so I used to get out of bed at 8:30, 9 o'clock, sort of meandering to work, into this room. In fact, I'm stood up harder, that's another transformation. I used to sit down all the time, didn't I? I used to sit all day, but now I've got a stand-up office.
Yes.
Yeah, so they were saying, win the morning, win the day, and I was just like that, right, yeah. And all of a sudden, 7:30 in the morning, but that still never made me jump out of bed on the first alarm. Whereas when I set a goal, and it became a cause, I can lay in bed at 7:30 in the morning and go, what's the cause? The cause is, and I'm up, and I'm like, that's a big transformation to go, why are you getting out of bed? And because you've set a goal and and then you go, right, even if it's just one little thing I can do to move towards it, it gets me out of bed. So
thinking about where you were and the transformations you have seen, had you not taken that dive into remodel your habits and thinking into results, where do you think your business and your life would be today?
Yeah. Well, I don't like thinking about bad things, but yeah, it would have died. I think the business would have just continued to go sliding downwards to a point where I'd be working for somebody. I'd be working for somebody every day, and then I'd be so dissatisfied with that it would that I'd have been even more dissatisfied with how everything worked out. I'd have been blaming everybody still as well. I'd have been saying, oh, it's somebody else's fault that I never did anything. Or what I did never worked. That wasn't my fault. That was somebody else's fault, wasn't it? So I think I would have been blaming the world, hating the world, letting everything that's happening in the world at the minute affect me more, and taking no responsibility for myself at all. So yeah, I don't really like to think about it.
Let's think about this. Based on all the success you've had over this past year, what is happening today that you never imagined you could be, do, or have? based on all the success you had over the past year, what is happening today
Well,
that you never
I'll start off
imagined?
with a thing that happened almost instantly, and we laughed about this when it happened. Like, one of my first goals was to play golf every day. It was one of my first ones. I wrote down, like, what do you want when, you know, and one of them was to play golf at some point, do something golf related every day. And within the first week or the second week, I said to her, I played golf every day last week. So, what do you remember?
I
So,
remember. I
yeah,
remember.
I was like, it was
And it
interesting.
was one of those aha moments for you. It was
Yeah.
like, I didn't even realize it. I'm doing that already.
Yeah, I'd written down as if that was in the 5 years I'd be helping
Yeah.
people, and then I'd be playing. I get to play golf every day or most days, and I was like, geez, I play
Yeah,
golf.
that was like way out there. You were planning that, and it
Yeah,
was like
yeah.
in 2
And in
weeks.
the first week, but that was like, if you want to get to this level of golf, then you need to go practice every day. So I made the time. I got up earlier and made the time to go every day. So, what else? I mean, there's
Your business. What's happening with your businesses? You have
Money
how many
business,
businesses
man.
now?
Within 6 months of the business, it doubled its money. And I don't say it's lightly, because I know people who watch videos like this and say, I wouldn't say it if it wasn't absolutely true. But in the 6 months since I started, the business has made more money than the 18 months before. And what that does is, see, what happened is, in the 18 months before, I stopped spending stuff, so I stopped earning, and everything just started to go down. So I cut my expenses, and then I stopped spending. I stopped going, you know, to concerts or football matches or anything that cost me money, and then I'd earn less, and then I'd do less, and then I'd do less. So now,
Focused on that left side of the.
yeah, I was just sort of going, I was just trying to protect everything, and I was just dying with it, and I wasn't doing anything. My life sucked because, well, it didn't suck. I didn't think it sucked, but I just wasn't doing anything because I wasn't earning any money. I couldn't afford to take anybody. Couldn't afford to go out with my nephew and niece, or I'd be questioning, like, oh, that's 50 quid or 100 quid. Whereas now, just like the personal training course that I signed up for, £1,200, I thought, I'm investing in myself. Done. I couldn't afford that 6 months ago. Or I'd be questioning.
And you took the Jeff Walker course. You took Jeff Walker's course as well.
Yeah,
and that
invested.
and that really launched your online bit that you're doing.
Yeah, to be honest, and this is interesting, I don't even think about my YouTube channel's got 100,000 views. Like, I know.
100,000 views.
I just record a video and send it out, right? And I go, well, that video might be for 6 months' time. I'm so patient in everything I do now that just every day, just do a little thing that makes you better, that gets you moving towards whatever your goal is. That's all it is, and it's now. Like I say, it's like a relaxed energy that you just go, that's all right, I'm doing this, that's fine, there's a bigger purpose. So yeah, Jeff Walker, then I bought my own paulnicholson.com. And again, all these things.
You had to spend a bit of money to get that, didn't you? To get your paulnicholson.com. You had to spend a little bit of money.
I emailed the guy and said, come on, no one's going to buy that. And he emailed me back and showed me 5,000 Paul Nicholsons in America. And I was like, jeez. So yeah, I had to pay $2,500 for that domain. But at least I think.
So let me make sure, you probably have more, but the big ones you have are paulnicholson.com, Blue Jean Media you've got going.
Yep, Blue Jeans Media
what do you have going on Blue Jeans Media? It was crazy that you were talking about for that one, 90-some thousand or something?
100,000. Well, actually, that was part of not knowing what you already had. And my company before Happy Me Limited was Blue Jeans Media. And I looked on the YouTube channel there was 100,000 views there. And I thought, well, you start to look at what you've already done, and yet there's parts and multiple streams of income. So there's 3 or 4 things that are happening. So I mean, I even talk about Happy Me Limited, which is the major part of everything.
And Happy Me is the big one.
Yeah, and everything else falls underneath that. So
and one of the big things you're moving into is the golf and mindset.
Yeah, that's where I knew it all happened. I knew it was what you thought about on a golf course could come true. And so I do a lot of videos or a lot of blog posts where I talk about golf, but in a life sense. I give a life lesson through golf, so I think I feel comfortable doing it that way.
Yeah.
So yeah, so it's about 10 different things going on.
Yeah, and they're all excellent. And
but
and the
tell you what I know from before I started this, and when I did the first lesson, and I saw, and it was like you don't need to know how to do what you're doing. It'll start to fall into place, and everybody goes like, oh yeah, that's. I saw that lesson, and 4 years ago, we opened a bar in Bristol, and the guy came to me and said, this is my dream, this is my goal. And I was like, all right, that's cool, I'll invest. Like, you know, he seemed to have a big plan. And I saw how he had a goal and everything fell into place for him. I saw it because, like your friend, how we met through Brian, that was
yes.
The other director walked into a bar in Fuerteventura. The project was dead. We had no architect, and Brian just happened to be working behind the bar. It's his bar, and they got talking. He said, well, I can do that for you in 12 weeks. And 3 months later, there was a bar, and then we'd need like a big oak bar. We'd need a big, expensive oak bar. And we're like, we don't know anybody to get an oak bar. And then one of the guys went for coffee, and the guy on the next table, he said, oh, I'm a carpenter. He said, oh, we're looking for somebody who does oak bars. I said, well, I can do you an oak bar. And it just, I'd never seen anything, so I knew that he didn't know how to do it, but everybody, I fell into place for him, Brian fell into place for him. Everything came together. And I thought that, you know, and I thought, this is going off subject, and I also thought, after 2 or 3 years of doing that, the next thing was my turn, what I want to do. And I don't know who says it, but someone says if you don't go to work on your own dream, somebody else will put you to work on theirs.
Absolutely.
And that's exactly what happened with that bar. You know, it was his dream, and everybody went to work on it for him.
Yep.
So,
absolutely.
you know, the transformation is transformation also is you've got to be really careful what you're thinking about. So if what you think about is what you become, then you start to be really wary of what you think about, because you know, yeah, you've got to be very scared. You know, what you're putting into yourself is, if you're watching the news all day, I can guarantee you're not happy.
Yeah. Yep.
So
you watch the news all day?
Hell no. I know a few people. I know a few people who do.
Way too busy.
Yeah. So, yeah, that transformations and stuff like that is really, really wary of what I think about. I'm really wary of where I throw. Like I said, that left side, right side. What do I want to happen? I don't concentrate on too much on the negative stuff. Get back onto it. What do you want to happen? So, yeah, it's all good.
So basically you went from looking at not doing any of your own business anymore for yourself.
Yeah.
In this short amount of time, you now have multiple MSIs, multiple sources of income.
Yeah.
And your income has, what did you say? You made more in 6 months?
Yeah, than the 18 months before. 18. Yeah. But I think like one of the massive parts of that is now I feel like I was disconnecting from everybody, and I was disconnecting from who I was working with and thinking, oh, I'm not delivering them value, or they're not happy, and that was my mindset, saying they're not happy. They never said they weren't happy, ever. But they were busy, and I was like, oh, I'm not getting emails, or I'm not this, or I was making stories up in my head.
Yes.
True. When I went back to them,
and those are all just paradigms and habits, aren't they?
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Because you work online, and there might be a lot of people who work online, you don't see people face to face, you have no idea what's going on. You know, they've got other things that they're busy with. And no one ever said they weren't happy. Nobody ever said my pricing was too expensive. Or I actually saw something the other day that said if 10% of your customers aren't telling you your prices are too expensive, then you're too cheap. But but in 6 months, I kind of took control, I think. That's the...
Yeah.
You know, this is, Bob says, you know, you create your own circumstances, or you create, you know, but the fact that you're probably wrong in what you're thinking is huge. Like, I now question everything I believe. Everything I sort of step back and go, oh, I know you've believed that for a long time, but do you think you're actually right with that? And so I start to question, not in an interesting way, not in a, oh God, you're wrong again, in a, all right, let's just think about it. I've got my reaction.
Really, yeah. Oh, yes, yes, yes.
Yeah. This is like, and you don't have to carry it all the time, do you? So anybody watching, there's two, if you haven't seen Lorrie's coin.
Tell them what that says. Tell them what that says.
On one side it says react and you lose your control, and that side's like
rough.
It's rough, and then on the other side it says respond and you're in control, and that's smooth. So if you have it in your pocket, you can just rub, and if say something happens to you, so I guess like if I had a bad golf shot, I'd react to that. Where if I have this in my pocket, I don't need it now, because once you've done it for a long time, you can rub it and you can go, right, am I reacting to it or am I responding? And when I respond to the shot, I just go and make a good decision. But when I react to a shot, I'll make another bad decision. So, yeah, that's sort of, there's all sorts like that in there. You could be here all day doing this, couldn't you? And you know, and I know now, you could be here all day. And your gold card, yeah, I've got mine. Oh, my wallet's downstairs. It's in my wallet. Mine's an actual check. Mine's a check, but...
Yes, exactly. I love it. I love it. You showed it to me.
Yeah, it's downstairs. It's downstairs. So, yeah, you know, I think any course, this is a pretty much take it as it is course, but you can still adapt it to whatever works for you, can't you? So.
And what about, because I know a lot of people have this thought about, oh goodness, this is a lot of time that you have to put in. Is it worth it? Is it hard?
I don't, you know, like you put some time into learning to ride a bike, didn't you? But once you've done it, you could do it forever. So I think knowledge is key. I mean, anything you're doing, you need to know what you're doing. You need to put some time into it to become. The thing is, what I was doing, like, so I've always been interested in self-improvement. I've always been interested in people who are, you know, like succeeding and chasing the dreams as much as anything. And there's so much stuff. So at some point you have to tunnel into something you believe. And very quickly I believe this was, because it wasn't, I've done NLP, I've done all that, you know, a lot of other stuff. I've delved into it. I have actually signed up for NLP courses and stuff. And it's all a little bit clicky, touchy chin and messing with your programming, where this is going, here's what'll happen, and if you do this, here's what'll happen, and if you do this, here's what'll happen. But you have to do it over and over again. That's that thing, right?
Yeah. I love that you showed me that one, the 21 times.
So it's a habit. So if people think they can watch one video once and then another video once and then another video once and their life will change, it's just not going to happen. It's not going to sink in. There's times now when I watch the video 8 months after starting, 9 months after starting, and you go, oh, that's what he meant. I saw that. I noticed that the other day in something, or you fall off. You fall off a little bit, and you go, right, let me get back to that part or this part, or so yeah.
And it's forever. It's not that it's ongoing forever, because you're moving to different levels.
It's forever, and you're going to teach everybody around you, whether you know it or not. You're going to teach everybody around you it as well.
The ripples. I love the ripple stories that you share.
This is what I noticed. I've only got one message now. I used to have 5 or 6 different things when I was trying to motivate people. Now I just say, you know, the same message, and they know now. They probably don't even ask me because they know they're going to get the same. You can do it. Set your goal for a year's time and you'll do it. But you've got to do something every day to move towards it, or there isn't anything you can't achieve. But you've got to say, this is what I want to do, and then every day do something that moves you towards that goal, isn't it?
Yep.
So yeah, the message is a simple. It's a formula as much as anything, isn't it? So if you do this, this will happen, guaranteed, 100% every time.
Yeah, some people probably hear that and think, well, that's hard. How do you do that? I mean, it's a step by step by step by step process that you go through, and you're replacing old habits, and you're removing time filler, time wasters, and you're replacing them with things that are actually taking you to this greater, higher purpose, higher goal that is just driving you to do it. Can you explain how that was for you in the very beginning when I said to you, Paul, you're going to have to be on every week, we're going to be together for 90 minutes.
Yeah.
And
exactly.
on top of that, you have to watch this for, this video twice a day, once in the morning when you get up and once at night. And
Yeah.
how, for people who are thinking, oh my God, I have no time right now, how did that work for you? I mean, did you find that you just cleared the time wasters and time fillers?
Well, that's interesting, isn't it? Because the first thing I did probably in the first week was I deleted a lot of stuff out of my life. I did a serious amount of clearing, didn't I? I had so much fluff going on.
And it wasn't because I said with a whip, Paul, do this.
Yeah,
it was an automatic thing you did. Is that right?
I need to get rid of that. I need to get rid of that. I don't need to do that. I don't need to do this. I can't remember what they were, but there was just so many.
You don't even remember what they were. I love it.
No, I just remember everything went woof. Everything. Like, I'm working on this little project and this little project and this little project. I'm trying to.
And it just laser focused.
And I just
laser
went,
focused in.
Yeah, and
that was within the first week, right?
Yeah, everything went into, like I said, I cleared the time. I cleared a lot of fluff. And a lot of people will say that to you. I mean, if you read the the Happy Project, I can't remember the lady's name. She said the first thing, throw all the clothes out your wardrobe that you don't wear. So, that's the first thing on the Happy Project is
so for people that talk about cluttered house, cluttered mind, and that's a dissatisfaction. Whew.
You don't need any of it. Yeah, if it's something that's important, you'll come back to it anyway. I mean,
yeah.
But finding the time is just get out of bed early, like I did. I found the time. I started getting out of bed at 7:30 instead of 9.
Yeah. And you had better things to fill your time with that were you could see and feel it was taking you to this greater, higher purpose and goal. Even though at the time you had, I mean, I don't think you had as big of a goal as you do now. Yours is massive, huge.
But if the first goal was this, but then I scared myself into not saying it. So it's actually the first goal, but then I went lower and lower, and then I went, this one will do. And yeah.
Well, you thought you were at a B-type goal then. I think I can do this. Never mind that C-type goal she's talking about. Yeah. I think I can do this. I'm going for the B.
Yeah. And all the B-type ones are still on the list, but they're like the main goal.
They're
all
steps.
These things are happen on the way, yeah.
Yeah, they're just steps that have automatically
goals, I've got my business goals, and I've got, family goals, stuff like that. They're all, but the one, and that's not the bit. That isn't what you've seen. Isn't the C-type goal? That's the C-type goal for 2020.
That's it. That's it.
That's a 2.5 year C-type goal. The actual C-type goal is, you times 10. So yeah, it's. And most people, I probably emailed a few people who've seen this, and I wrote it down, didn't I?
Paul, talking about these C-type goals and the importance of who you share this kind of stuff with. Do you share this with your friends? Do you share this with your family? Do you?
I've gone real. I went real. I locked it down. I haven't shared it with you, have I?
Private, not the big one. No.
So I keep it to myself. Other people's, if you're working with somebody who understands, like Lorrie, or somebody who can help you with it, then tell them your C-type goal. But if they don't understand the theory, trying to give you an example of.
Very sharing it with friends and family and people who don't understand this.
Why would you put that when you
that's where all the negative external is going to come in, and all their paradigms and terror barriers about it, around it, will come. It'll just come at you, come at you, come at you. But what's going to happen is they're going to see changes in you that they have no idea what's happening, but they can see something, because a lot of it goes on internally first, and then it starts becoming external. And when it starts becoming external, that's when they kind of go, there's something different going on here.
Yeah, exactly.
What are you doing? You look different. You act different. You behave different. What are you doing? You're doing something good. Yeah.
And then they'll question that. But they question. I guess the thing with C-type and regular people who don't know this stuff is you'll give them a C-type goal and they'll question theirs, or they'll question. And the easiest thing for them to do is to knock yours down, because you're saying, this is what I'm going to do. I'm just going to go for it. And then they'll say, well, you can't do that. Not because they don't think you can do it. It's because they're so scared of what they're supposed to be answering.
They're just simply input. And it's not it's not a bad thing. I mean, they're not doing anything on purpose. And that's the thing you have to understand.
You're helping them.
Their paradigms and their terror barriers that they are reacting. You know, it's this react and respond. They're just reacting to, oh, you got to be kidding me. But it's all their own ingrained.
They're probably trying to protect you from what they think is failure, or deemed to fail. You know, it's
exactly, instead of understanding that you're working on the positive and you're working on the putting the positive out, and the positive comes back. We're getting a bit deep into it, but
See, why I shared my third part, my shared it. So I just tell you, I put on a thing that I'm going to help 10 million people before Christmas Day 2020 to close their gap between their potential and their results. I'm going to make it. I'm going to make the gap, but their potential is going to go through the roof. So I've almost given myself an impossible task. But what I've done, so I believed in telling them that. Like I say, my C-type's further on than that. But what I believe is I've put them all on notice that they need to help me. So I haven't said you need to buy anything or you need to do anything, but I've said this is my cause and I'm going to need all the help I can get. So everybody I've talked to, I'm like, oh, that's interesting, I read your email. And I was like, yeah, you're on notice. You're on notice to help me do it. You know, so I talk to you about this stuff all the time. Let's go help 10 million people. You know, it can't be any harm, can it?
And so you're expanding their thinking that they can help people do something some way in a good, positive way. They can help change other people's lives as well. So you're planting those really golden nugget seeds.
Yeah, I didn't say, what do you think of my goal? I said, this is what I'm doing. You know, I've always said this, you know, I'm going that way. You can come with me if you want, but I'm going that way.
I'm going that way.
That was James's Lawrence of Arabia when he said nobody's going for the desert. He said, well, I'm going that way.
I'm doing it. This is where I'm headed, with or without you.
I don't ask. But when you say C-type, so I guess I did tell people the smaller version of it. I don't ask for their opinion on it. I just say, this is what I'm doing.
Exactly.
You know me well enough. You know me well enough.
It's not necessary. People have been trained that you should ask somebody else their opinion on what you're doing. For whatever reason. The only person you should be asking their opinion, and not even their opinion, because it's whatever you want to do. You can do it. The only thing you should be asking is, can you help me get there? Do you have any suggestions on how to get there? That's it. And don't ask people who have never been there, because they have no clue. They're not going to tell you how to, they're going to tell you every way how not to get there.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly, yeah.
So...
Yeah, your opinion's none of my business.
Exactly. If when you're asking someone else, ask someone who's been there, can you give me some suggestions on this is what I want to do, this is where I want to go, and what were some of the things you did to get to where you are? Can you help me with that? That's the kind of questions that you learn to ask differently as well.
This is my cause, you know, this is where I'm going. Okay, is there anything you can help me with? What do you think? Well, not what you think of that, but this is what I need to do next. You know, But if you've got any ideas, I'm
Don't be
open.
asking people who've never been there because they have no answer and they will give you their opinion.
Yeah.
They will give you their opinion.
You see
And
where you put what is happening today that I wouldn't have done. I wouldn't have done this 6 months ago because I cared about people's opinions. I'd have gone, oh, look at the state of him. He looks like he's got long hair and everything now. I wouldn't have, like, I would never have done this, but now I don't care. Like, I know you're watching this probably thinking, oh, I could never do that. I could put, I'd be too worried about what I look like or what I say or what I don't care what I say now. If it comes out, I wouldn't mean to say anything wrong, but, if it's what I think, then here it comes,
Yes.
And, what you look like on video, like, if you want to start a YouTube channel where you've got to video yourself giving some knowledge, then you just start doing it. By the 20th one, you won't care what people think. You won't care what... And, I mean, I don't know. I've got 100,000 views. I've never had anything negative put on any of them. So,
Yeah.
Again, you're thinking things about other people's... You probably... that question is, this is what I'm doing. Is there anything you can help me with? You're going to answer that in your head, what they're thinking, before you dare ask that question. And I guarantee you that probably the answer will be different than you would have ever expected. They'll probably, yeah, that sounds awesome. Let me help you with that.
Yep.
So,
And people who have been there, if they can see in you that you have that drive and desire,
yeah,
because that's the way we work, that if there's someone who genuinely wants to do better in their life, they will absolutely help pull them up to where they want to go. They will help that person.
exactly. Yeah.
Because in helping others, you're helping yourself.
Yes,
In helping
exactly.
others,
And things like this is teach once, learn twice. The more you teach, the more you learn it, and the way you go. Like,
absolutely. So people who are in the place, or have been, or they're at the place or beyond the place of someone who genuinely wants to do something different, better for themselves. When you can genuinely see and hear that, you absolutely want to help that other person and pull them up to show them what they're asking, tell them, explain. To help others that's the greatest higher purpose you could have and do in any way, shape, or form, is helping others pull them up to a place that they want to go.
Exactly, and with this, it's, like with mine, what I just said then, I'm not going to put you to work on my dream. I've already told you that I don't believe in stuff like that. I'm going to put you to work on your dream, which is going to help me. So if I help you, I need to get to 10 million people. So if I help you and you go off and help 10, I don't know if I'm counting that as 11. But so with this isn't come and work with me or us and go to work on our dreams. This is like, you've got your dreams. You need to go after them.
It's all about you. It's all about you, 100%.
This is, happy me is all about you becoming happy and the people around you. So I guess one of my goals would be changing the world. And if you wake up in the morning happy, the world's happy. If you wake up in a negative state, the world's negative. So if you want to change the world, you've already done it. If you just go, and it's not as easy as go, oh, sunshine and daisies, is it? But if you can start
here.
I'm controlling that.
Here. The change starts here. Yeah. The world changes when you change it here.
Yeah. Now, I'm golfing in a minute.
Are you looking at and focusing on the negative, or are you looking at and focusing on the positive?
Exactly.
And whenever you're looking at and focusing on the positive, the whole world changes.
Yeah, exactly. And then you've changed the world.
The world changes, and then the whole world.
And then you've changed the world. So that goal can't be big enough now anyway. But I'll just tell you this, because another thing, I'm going golfing in a minute. And I was a member of a golf course. It was too long and it was boring and my friends didn't like it. And I set a goal. This is interesting, really. But I set a goal that I wanted to be a +2 golfer, which is better than scratch. And I thought, what do I need? I thought I need a good golf course and I need a practice ground where I can go and practice 4 or 5 hours a day. Or not a day, 2-3 times a week, 4 or 5 hours, properly practicing. And my golf course didn't have those facilities. So in June, I've just renewed my membership with them. In June, I was going to go somewhere else. in December, they remodeled the golf course. They put a massive fence around it, secured it, took 900 yards, they made it a shorter and more fun golf course, and then they have now 2 holes that are an unbelievable practice area. So
Wow.
my golf pro thinks he did that, but I was like, this is what I need. And I was like, I've made this happen.
Yeah, exactly.
This happen,
This is
but
exactly what you needed, and they did.
I just laugh at stuff like that now. I'm going, yeah, I made that happen. And it sounds stupid, and I'm not a sort of a person, like I was saying in September, I was in that place. But by Christmas, I was like, there was redesigning it, there was fencing, because what happened is dog walkers come on and kids were running on and nicking flags and stealing golf balls. And it was like, oh, God, this is painful. But now they put a massive fence around it. It's going to be an awesome golf course and a awesome practice area. And I will be, I mean, my goal's probably going to be, I'll reach that goal by end of summer, I think. But
Fantastic.
so yeah, I just find it funny that I didn't do anything, but I was like, yeah, I made this happen.
You put the thoughts out to the universe, and it made it happen.
What I need, and then it, it's sort of like a month or 2 months after it happened. I was practicing the other day, and I was like, oh, this is awesome. Like, you can't always see it, can you? Like, you can't. But it was funny that there's another golf course that's amazing. It's actually closer to my house, and I was going to join them. But I didn't really want to, because I've been a member up here and I like the guys and that, and they just completely redesigned the whole place, and it's crazy. Just how stuff like that happens. You don't know how to do it here. Things will start to happen yeah, it's crazy. I'm like.
So paulnicholson.com and happyme.com. Look out world.
OGC.com, yeah.
Look out world. Paul, thank you. I can't thank you enough. I love having you as a student, and it's just been an amazing journey watching all the transformations and listening to all the transformations, seeing all the transformations that have been going on in your life. And it's just
it
been
wouldn't
a
happen
joy.
without a great teacher, though. That's for sure. You need, you can't just watch a video and read a book. You've got, everything you provide is right on point. You know what to say. You know what not to say.
Did I beat you up for things at all ever? Did I ever pound on you?
No, I don't think so. But when the goal was getting smaller, there was a bookkeeper.
I was like, really? You can do way more than this. What are you talking about?
When you have somebody to be accountable.
You've already done way more than this. What do you mean? It's those kinds of things. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's but when you're accountable, you don't even need to say anything, because you know what you're going to say. And I was doing things, so I was going, what would Lorrie say? And I just do it. And it all gets in your head, and you all get you. And anybody signing up for any of the courses coming, you've got all the students that have been there before. They're going to tell you the same thing. They're just going to keep telling you. You'll be in situations where, what would they say? What they're going to, and you know what we'd say, because we say the exact same thing all the time. It's not. You're not changing the message. The message is nailed on.
Yeah.
The formulas or the worksheets are nailed on. You know they work. And I'm not somebody who's ever done this before. Coming on and buy this. I knew within probably a month. If I could afford it, I'd want to buy this for all my family. And I've never thought that about any training course. And that's about as big a recommendation as you can get, and it is that I would pay out of my money this for somebody else, and that's how good it is, isn't it? That's how life changing it is for you and your family.
And your niece and nephew, they are some of the ripple effects that.
Oh yeah, that's really not a question. It's great, isn't it?
Yeah, as when you have time, when you spend time with them, your niece and nephew's goals are massive now.
Yeah,
and they're just, how old are they?
Freya's 7 and Ben's 9, so
Yeah,
they wrote
7
it down.
years and 9 years old, and they are just absorbing and doing, and their life and thinking and goals are growing.
They live in a world where they see everybody working hard and they see everybody really, really busting their butts to get stuff done. Then they come and see me, and I get Freya to do my work for me. And I'm like, is this what you do? Is this your work looks really fun? Like, oh yeah, we're going to upload this video. We're going to what do you think of this? And she's 7. She loves it.
She helps you make videos and things now too, doesn't she?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the whiteboarding video we made.
Yeah.
So we're seeing everybody's working hard, and you don't have to. If you start deciding on what you want, it's still you're going to want to work hard, but people are grinding in jobs that they hate.
It's hard.
And your kids are seeing that. Your kids are seeing that you're
hard in a different way, though. It's dedicated. It's not that it's hard. It's focused. It's laser focused.
It doesn't
Very
feel
laser
hard.
focused for what
It's 14-hour days. But it doesn't feel.
Yeah.
When I'm creating a video to help somebody, I don't feel like I'm working. I know it's a bit of a cliche that if you find something you love, you never work another day in your life. But
that's
I think what the real one is, if you find a job you don't want to retire from, then you found something you really enjoy.
That's it.
If you can't wait to retire, you hate your job. But that might not be true.
Definitely need to be setting bigger goals, for sure. Making bigger, better goals.
That's not true. Some people can't do it when they get a certain age, but find something that you'd love to do all the time, just that you enjoy. People are grinding. They're really grinding. And
life's too short to be doing things you don't want to do. You hate getting up in the morning. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing it for?
You can achieve anything. That's the thing. You can do it, and everybody's like, you look at you and go, I can't do that. Like, yes, you can. If that's what you want to do, you can do it, and that's
absolutely. It's just all here. It's all paradigms and terror barriers. Stop thinking. That's it. It's simple.
They should be teaching that in schools. They should be teaching this in schools. I mean, what I did with Ben and Freya.
Well, that's one of my big goals. That's one of the places I'm heading with it as well. I've got a teacher. I have a teacher who's gone through the course who is sharing it with his students and having massive results. Massive. It needs
definitely as many people on it as possible. It would be. It would be a different world for them and for everybody else. So.
Well, their world changes for the better, and the ripples of all the people around them change for the better. And it's just a ripple effect. It isn't just one individual. It automatically just starts changing the world of people around you without you really saying. It's just you getting on with your life in the different way that you're doing it, in a certain way, as Napoleon Hill says.
Yes, I mean, we could talk about this all day. We should have a weekly. We should have a weekly chat like this.
Absolutely. I'm thinking webinar, or I'm thinking broadcast, podcast. Absolutely.
We didn't get into a lot of specifics with it, but the you do not compete was a huge thing for me. So here's the thing: when somebody says, and we keep trying to sign off, when someone says it's a lot of time effort, if there's certain amount, there's five modules in the remodel your habits. There's 12 in what I did.
Yes.
There's certain modules you will fly through because you'll just get it, and there'll be certain ones that'll tag you and you'll slow up. Certain things you're already doing 6 out of 12 things right, but there's probably 6 other things that you didn't like. For me, there's one. I don't know sort of which lesson it is where you don't compete, we just create.
Yes.
I don't know if it was. I can't remember which module it is, but obviously every time I played golf, I was just competing with everybody all the time, and I just felt the pressure of it, and there was no fun in that. And I felt them competing with me, and then be able to transform to say you're not competing, and then leave people with a feeling of increase. That was like, I'm having a bad day of golf, I'm making sure they're having a good day, and it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. It's not working for me today, but I don't have to drag them down with me.
Yeah.
And stuff like that was massively changing, and every little bit will change for you, because you might already be doing that. You might be doing, that might come natural to you, to just be nice to everybody, to make them feel good, to make them, so I do it a lot, but not on a golf course when I'm busy in my own little golf ball. But it is a big thing when if you're not competing with anything, everybody, all of a sudden you're interested in everybody, because you're not competing anymore. You just go, that's what they're doing now. What do I need to do? That might not be anything.
And the reason you don't compete is because you are an individual that has been made up of something completely different. Paul, you could do something the same or similar to what I'm doing, and it would be completely different, because your entire life experiences have been totally different than what mine have. And your unique specializing is something different. And all of what you've brought to the table is completely different from what I've ever brought, what I've been through and brought to the table. And
that's good, isn't it? That's for everybody. That's
and
awesome.
when you start thinking in those ways, it just changes everything in your thinking. You're unique. You are uniquely you. There is not another individual that is like you. There is not another individual that is like me. And it's when you start thinking and believing and understanding those things is when your mindset starts really, really shifting to, goodness, I have so much inside of me that of a particular thing that I've focused on for so long. People need to know and understand that in different, better ways. And that's a whole different topic of how do you do those things.
Yeah.
And, you know, you
competing is
Tracy, and I mean, you and Tracy are just experts at those things as well, on the how you make those things happen.
Yeah. It was like a badge of honor, though, being competitive. It was like, that was a, you know, oh, you're so competitive. Oh, thank you very much.
No.
No, it was just causing a hell of a lot of pain for everybody. Let everybody else win. I mean, you know, I'm just moving towards my own thing.
You're winning for you. I mean, you're in it to do better for yourself every day, and that's the thing. When you are in this life to just do better for yourself every day, and what that means is you're doing better for others. You're helping others do better for themselves. When you're helping others, you're helping yourself.
Yeah.
So there's just been such a scramble of the way that people have been taught about so many different ways of thinking that.
Everybody's living in the keeping up with the Joneses society. How many cars you got? How many TVs you got? What holiday are you going on? And then you compare yourself with the next door neighbour. Like, who cares what the next door neighbour's doing? Fair play to them if they're doing well.
Exactly.
You know, you start what you want to go.
What are you doing to contribute to society, to help make it a better place? What are you doing? That is all that matters.
Yeah. I mean,
For you.
I have a life now that I don't need a vacation from. So,
yeah, exactly.
I couldn't think of going on holiday for 2 weeks. I got too much to do to go on holiday for 2 weeks.
We live on an island.
Yeah.
This is our island. Where do we need to take a vacation? You know, we go to one of the other islands to, you know, see what that's like. Or
get off the rock. Yeah, well, that's cool.
Yeah.
People are doing well. People are doing well in what they're doing, but it doesn't have to be that hard. Is what I take from it. You don't have to. It doesn't have to be such a grind. It doesn't have to be so painful. Every conversation you have with your kids and what do you want to do when you grow up? That question. What do you want to do? What, you know, most adults can't answer that question. You keep asking kids it.
The $2 million question, Paul. It's the $2 million question. That's all you need.
Exactly. It doesn't matter what age you are. It was the $2 million question.
And kids know. I mean, if you did this with your niece and nephew.
Yeah.
Ask them the $2 million question. They have big ideas already. We squelch them. You know, you can't do that. That's true. Don't. No, you can't. No.
Yeah.
No, you need to do this.
Yeah, I
That's
think
all.
Ben said he was going to own Barcelona. I was like, great, go for that.
That's it. That's
Looks like I
it.
get a good speed. Yeah.
That's it. That's it. Well,
Yeah.
we should sign off here. You have a golf appointment, and thank you,
Beautiful day.
thank you, thank you, thank you. I can't
Oh,
thank
thank
you
you.
enough. So, see you again very soon.
Yes. Thanks a
Have a
lot.
good one.
Bye.
To your success. Cheers.